This is a method I've been using to teach students how to learn their fretboard and where their notes are at. For this, we're just going to start off with only the A string, our second string down, or the fifth string up. So we're just going to use the A string the entire time for this. Now I'm going to go across the fret numbers we're going to play. It's going to be 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. So try to memorize that, even if you just memorize a numerical pattern. 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. Repeat it a few times, whatever. Try to memorize that, and then we start trying to play it. It's going to sound like this. So I go through it a little slower. 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. Alright, and you want to start just kind of playing through it that way. And once you have it memorized, just kind of get used to shifting through those notes. Even if you're using one finger, whatever, just to memorize it. And try it backwards. Alright, it's not much to memorize. Once you have that down, now we're going to think of the notes we're playing as we play that pattern. And that's going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So it's going to be A, first is open fret. Second fret is B. Third fret is C. Fifth fret is D. Seventh fret is E. Eighth fret is F. 10th fret is G. And 12th fret is A. So we start with A and end with a higher pitch A. We're going all the way through the notes until we repeat again. That means we're ending at the 12th fret. On an electric guitar, you fret with the double dot. Steel string guitars usually have it too. If it's a classical guitar, it's usually where the body of the guitar meets. But just get to know where your 12th fret is. It's an important one. So just count them down and try to remember where that 12th fret is. And when you go through the exercise, if you end up on the 13th fret or the 11th fret or the 10th fret, you did something wrong in it. When you get used to the sound of the scale, this is actually playing a scale. It's the A minor scale. And when you get used to the sound of it, you're going to hopefully start to realize when you make a mistake, and you'll hear it. So if I play a wrong note, it just sounds off. It usually sticks out. So that's what you think. But start kind of memorizing it linear that way. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. As you know the pattern, say the notes as you play it. Makes a big difference. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Another trick to this is to actually try to sing the notes in key with it. If it's a high pitch, of course, you're not going to try to hit that high note. You're going to sing it a few octaves lower or higher for the low notes. There's a theory about that it helps you train your pitch and also train your vocal cords, basically, and how to sing in key. So it's even worth doing that if you have enough privacy, basically. Now from this point, I got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Start trying to test yourself even randomly. Say like any of those 7 letters. Say like, well, where's an F? And can you find it? Where's a G? Where's a D? And see how quickly you can get to them. What I find when I test my students on this is if I ask a note that's in a lower fret number, so in like the first 5 fret range, so if I say where's a C, they find it pretty quick after practicing it. And if I say where's a B, no problem, a D, okay. The further I get up though, if I ask where like a G is, which is the 10th fret, it takes them a little longer. They have to kind of think a little bit and yeah, there it is, and they'll find it. So the further you go up on the neck, the harder it is to memorize for some reason. So keeping that in mind, what I recommend is working on that higher range on its own a little bit. Just take your time to work on notes like the G, the octave high A, E, F, and G basically. A. So I'm thinking, E, F, G, A, E, F, G, A. As I say it when I play it, I start to associate the way it sounds too. It gets you good with playing things by ear if you work with it this more, and just it's good ear training. Now that I've got it forwards and backwards, I want to point out a couple things that really stand out on this that are going to help you with the other strings. One is we're basically got two patterns when we play it across the string this way that are going on. We're either skipping a fret or going one fret over. There's two spots where we go one fret over. That's going to always be two pairs of notes. The first one is the second to third fret, and that's going to be the notes B to C. And then on fret 7 to 8, we go E to F. Everything else is two frets apart. We're skipping a fret on everything else. A to B is 0 to 2. B to C, 2 to 3. That's where they're together. C to D is 3 to 5. So that pattern is everywhere on all the strings. It's just starting at a different point, so we can't associate the fret number for every string, really. Now if we look at like the E string, for an example, or top string. Open E is, of course, an E. And F is right next to E, so that means we just go to our first fret. 2 frets over is going to be a G to the third fret. 2 frets over is an A, 5th fret. 2 frets over to B, 7th fret. Now remember that B to C, so 7th fret to 8th fret to get from B to C. 8 to 10 is a D. 10 to 12, we get back to E again. Higher octave. So it works the same on every string. Just for another example, I'm going to use the B string. And I'm going to go B, 0, 1st fret C, 3rd fret D, 5th fret E, 6th fret E to F, F. 8th fret G, 10th fret A, and 12th fret B. What I just did there on the strings E, A, and B is I played 3 different modes of C major. When I played A to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, I'm playing the Aeolian mode. That's A minor, but it's relative to C major. If something's in the key of C major, we can play an A minor scale. It'll fit together. Then when I switch to the E string, I'm playing those same notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, but I started with E and went to E. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. So I'm playing the Phrygian mode of the C major. When I did it on the B string, I'm going B to B, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. But always those same 7 notes, and that's just another mode, the Locrian mode. So we're actually learning scales this way. And also finger patterns. I'll probably put into a second exercise on this to learn how to practice this with finger patterns and incorporate a lot of ways to practice learning your fretboard. So it's not just a boring trying to memorize stuff, but you're actually getting things done. Another thing I should point out here is we have the spacings down of the frets. So 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. When you're trying to memorize that for the E string, it's only changed by one fret, so it's 0, 1, 3 instead of 0, 2, 3. The rest is the same, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. So E, playing all the natural notes. 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. A, playing the natural notes. 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. So it's only off by 1 fret. Real easy to memorize the E string after you have the A string memorized. And if you look at it this way, we have 2 E strings. It's going to work the same on our bottom E string, so that's 3 out of 6 strings. You got half the fretboard pretty much memorized. You might be thinking now about the frets we're skipping, though. In music, there's 12 notes. They're split into two groups: 7 natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and then we have 5 notes that are called accidentals. And that's normally heard by a flat or a sharp note. So in between these notes we're skipping, that's where those flat and sharp notes are, or accidentals. We're going to go back to the A string, frets 0, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. Alright, and now let's look at A, B, C, we'll go all the way to D, to our 5th fret. Okay, to play a D flat, what I have to do is subtract. So we just got to remember, to play a flat note, we subtract our fret. So the 4th fret is a D flat. Go back to the 5th fret, which is a D, and say I want to make a D sharp. I'm going to add a fret. So there's our D sharp there. My next note over would be an E. So I went D, D sharp, E. If I go backwards though, and I'm using that same thing, subtract a fret for a flat, that's my E, That's an E flat now on the 6th fret, and the 5th fret's D still. So that 6th fret, basically just think of it this way, as two different names. It could be a D sharp or an E flat. Kind of depends on which direction I'm going in the alphabet and also what notes I've used before. But just for the sake of knowing what the note is, if someone tells me to play a D sharp or an E flat, I know where it is. And I can, even if I don't memorize those spots, if I know where my D is, it's like D sharp, no problem. It takes a hair of a second to just add a fret for sharp, subtract a fret for flat. And then you're going to pretty much get, I mean, we're working on memorizing 7 out of the 12 notes, so we kind of got our way around memorizing 5 of those notes, and a very easy shortcut that way. What I would recommend is going the A string, doing this process with the A string, then the E string. And we're doing it, keep in mind we're doing 2 strings at once with the E string, because 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12 on the E string is E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. On our bottom E string, 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, same exact thing, is the same exact sequence of notes, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. E and F are next to each other, 0 and 1. B and C are next to each other, 7 and 8. And it's like they swap places on E and A. B and C on the E is 7 and 8. E and F on the A string is 7 and 8. So it's, you'll see those strings are pretty similar actually in a way, sort of. From that point, after I have A and the E strings down, then I would tell you to move along to the B string and start working on that order. After that, for the the D and G, you can do the same thing, but you'll also start to recognize what are called octave patterns. And that's what I'll start going to the next video on this, as well as some exercises to play through it, where we're going to take like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A and play it in a sequence. As a quick demonstration, it would be something like this. So I'm just playing those 8 notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, plus the octave A, and taking them 3 at a time. A, B, C, B, C, D, C, D, E, D, E, F, E, F, G, F, G, A. And just taking one at a time. F, G, A, B, C, C, D, E. And the more I jumble it up, the more interesting it gets. And I can just kind of in sequences and keep repeating each one and not make mistakes like that. And that's what the next video will go into. That's going to continue off from here.